Hello everyone, welcome to the third lesson, how to make a cash budget. The right way to make a cash budget is by looking at all the items that we have. Now, before we begin, I should try to explain the importance of having a cash budget plan. The importance of cash budget is that we could never ever be able to track every single expense or payment we have to make during the year at specific times, and we have to make sure that we have enough cash for it. From what we could see here, we have the months and we have a beginning balance for each month, the income, expenses, and cash at the end of the period. The first step in making this type of plan is by looking at the items we have, which could be, for example, the salary, the expenses such as maintenance, health insurance, match tickets. The first step we should begin with, let's assume that we have a beginning balance in bank of 1,500. By looking over here, we can start by entering here 1,500. Now, we should try to locate each item in the place where it's supposed to be. Let's start by salary. Salary is considered as an income, therefore we should enter here 8,000. Now we come to the part of expenses. Notice that expenses are all in cash. When we come to expenses, we have many expenses over here. Let's start, for example, by car maintenance. Car maintenance. We have car maintenance expense of 500. In addition, we have health insurance of 250. Also, we have a match ticket of $300. Now, here, the cash balance during the period, it should be equal to the total cash we received minus the total expenses. Now we will adjust this cell later on, but let's have a look. Here we can start by the total cash received. This cell should include all the cash we received during the period. Therefore, it should be the sum of the beginning balance and the salary, which is the income. And then we could come to total expenses, and it should be equal to all the expenses during the period. And we end up with the cash balance during the period. Now, assuming that we are making it based on months, we should make the first cell of the next month as the last cell in the first month. This is to make our job much and calculation much easier, where we could easily manipulate because Excel will automatically change any number if we change the cell. Now, let's assume that, just for illustration, that we have the same expenses or salaries during that this time. Now, let's say that all of these are almost the same. We see here, we could see and track all our expenses during the whole period. This would help us a lot, especially if we are working on some major issues such as paying our bills, making sure that we don't get fined by because of late payments, etc. Now we just could start with the next step. We should make sure that this still is replicated. And finally we have here the cash balance during the period. We could also replicate this cell. Now let's assume, for example, that on a birthday you are going to pay money for your, let's say, spouse. So we could say here, gift. Let's say that you are going to buy her a car. So assume that the birthday in June, and you are going to pay $60,000. For simplification, should just assume that we will pay here $60,000. Now let's make sure that the sum will include this cash flow, and here we go. We could see here that we will be minus 16,796, which means that the money we will have at the beginning of the period and along with the salary is not going to be enough to cover it. Therefore, we could see from here that it is minus, which means we need this much of money so we could pay all the expenses and the gift costs at on June. In general, this is how a cash budget is being made. We have the period, the balances at the beginning of each month. Here we should state the income, all types, all sources of income we have in cash, and here we should state all the expenses we have in cash as well. And here we should state how much money do we have. If you would like to see the whole total, we could simply do it like this for the whole year. It should be the sum of all of this. Now, all we have to do is replicate, and here we go. Now, here we could see the total of all the expenses we have during the year and how much money are we going to have by the end of the year, which is 140,000. If you have noticed, simply stated we have all the expenses during the year. I hope that you have had fun with this lesson and see you on the next lesson. If you have any question, you are more than welcome to check all the details and visiting my blog as in the details comments of this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.